Yes, please start.
Mhm. Namaste and a very good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome our today's webinar, Work in Germany. My name is Kai. I'm the founder and CEO of BSK International. Thank you very much for taking the time. And so let's jump right into the topic. We won't waste any more time. First of all, a few words about BSK International. We were founded in the year 2000. That means we have a history of 22 years. We are a governmental recognized NPO, recognized by the German government. We are official member of IMOVE and GIZ. Those are semi-governmental bodies founded by the government, and our scope of business is within international students and international job seekers. We do have a lot of excellent references and testimonials, and just here I would like to share one testimonial. A gentleman from India, and he says it would never have been possible without BSK International. Thank you very much again for this good comment and testimonial. We're happy that you are satisfied. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I would like to talk about work in Germany. And work in Germany basically has many perks. And one of the most important perks I personally would say is the high salary, and also the fact that you might obtain a permanent residence permit and even a passport. So when talking about the benefits of working here is number one is that you will be eligible for obtaining a permanent residence and even a German passport. This is optional. You don't have to do that, but this is an option you can choose. Number two, we offer a world-class work environment, and here you will also, of course, have excellent career perspective with high salaries. And number four, very important for international job seekers, is that here you have a strong and safe and stable jurisdiction, and actually the German working laws do protect the international workforce in the same way that they are protecting the local workforce. So that means you as an international job seeker enjoy the same rights and the same protection by law as any other job seeker or employee in Germany. So when talking about the process in detail and how we can help you to find employment in Germany is we have different steps for and different services for people interested in Germany. Is number one is that we will find the employer for you, especially in industries like, for example, in hospitality and caregiving, let's say including culinary chefs, and also for all kinds of medical stuff. There is a German course already included in our package. There are no hidden costs. Everything is crystal clear and very transparent. You will have the opportunity to obtain a German passport after 3 to 5 years of time, which is compared to other countries a remarkably short duration of time. When talking about other countries, you will maybe have to spend like 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, but in Germany before you can obtain a passport. But here it's only 3 to 5 years.
Questions?
And another perk is that we will solve all the administrative steps for you. That means, for example, like visa application, the language course, the work permit, and so on. And once again, I would like to stress that, because that is very important to you, is that the German labor laws, they protect you as overseas employees as much as it does for local German employees. So that is also another, quite important point if you work overseas, because you would like to enjoy the same protection as anybody else. Talking about the criteria um, for Indian or for international applicants working in Germany, you have to be below the age of 35 at the time of application. You have either be graduated from a university or a vocational school in your home country. Number three, you have to possess at least 3 years of relevant work experience, and you need to have a certain level of German proficiency. That is basically B1 to B2, B1 to B2, depending on the profession you would like to work. So when looking at those 4 points, and let's split it up point by point, you are below 35. I believe that will be the case for most of you. You will have graduated from university or a vocational education school. So I understand that even you don't have attended university, but still you have some kind of vocational education. That's fine, and you are fulfilling the criteria. Talking about the years of working relevance, 3 years, I believe most of you will have this kind of experience in working, and so you will also fulfill this criteria, and also German proficiency, German knowledge, and this is included into our package. You can see that here in this slide, because we have the German course already included in our package. That means you will also fulfill the language criteria. When talking about the sequence of services and sequence of steps, how you actually can go to Germany to work, it's a very pretty straightforward steps, I would say. The first is that we will check if you are eligible. If you're not eligible, we will also tell you. Number two, we will tell you the scope of employers where you likely will be employed. So let's say you came from the background
ये तो
of,
मेरे को
let's say, for example,
क्वेश्चंस
IT,
मैसेज कर दो
then
जो
we
टाइप किए
will
मैंने
tell you which kind of IT companies you will be eligible to work in. Number three, we will connect you with the prospective employers, and there you will have online interviews. You will have to prepare your CV and other documents and so on. At the same time, while still being in India, you will take our intensive German course online. That means you stay in India, but you already can learn part of the language, which is done online. Number five is you file the visa application and travel to Germany, and we will send you all the needed documentation which you need for the visa application. We will send it to you. After you have arrived in Germany, you will do the second part of the German course, and this can be done either online in our language school in Bonn, or you can also do it online. If, let's say, for example, you are residing in a different German city, you don't have to travel to Bonn, you can do it online. So, and the course altogether is 480 lessons, 480 lessons consisting of 240 lessons online while you're in India, plus another 240 lessons in person, face to face, after you have arrived in Germany. And after all this is done, you can start your employment right away. So, and here is, if you have any questions, please type it into the chat function at the right side of your screen, and I'm very happy to answer your questions. Talking about
Yes,
fees, the entry date,
yes,
the application.
yes,
The fees altogether is consisting of 8,000 plus 3,000 euro. Altogether, it's 11,000 euro. The earliest entry date will be June next year, and so we are talking about 5 months, 6 months from now on, and definitely you will need that time to prepare your documents, to have your online interviews with the employers, to file for the visa application, and so on. So I would say the entry date in June or July next year is quite realistic, so to say. And When it comes to the workplace, the location, we can say it's basically all over Germany because we do cooperate with many um, em- employers from all over the country. So, and you can say it could be in the southern part or even northern part in Germany. And also, we're happy to receive your special request. Let's say you would like to work in a particular city. We try to accommodate that special wish. So once again here, this was a very brief introduction. I'm very happy to answer your questions in the chat. Please raise your questions. I'm happy to answer them. And even after the webinar, please kindly contact our trusted partner, Go Study Free. In Delhi, you can see the number here and also the email. You can contact them by email at support@gostudyfree.com or by phone, which is country code for India, and then 9582 918801. Go Study Free, and the dedicated consultants of Go Study Free are happy to answer your questions. So thank you very much again for your attention, and now I'm happy to answer your questions in the chat function. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kai, for the presentation and webinar. So there are a few questions which I would like to ask you, which people have asked in the chat box. So, can a person's spouse or also join them in Germany during their work, or what is the scenario?
Mhm. Thank you very much. Just one question. Yes. So thank you very much. This is an excellent question. Can my spouse and my children can join me while I work in Germany? The answer is both yes and no. So for the first part of your employment, that will not be possible. That means you can only stay by yourself. But after you have secured your um, permanent residence permit, your spouse as well as your children can come over and they can stay with you. And by the way, they enjoy the same rights like you. That means they will have a residence card, and which is also a Schengen visa. That means they can stay and live and travel freely and throughout the entire European Union, throughout the entire Schengen area.
Sure, thank you. And in which all industries and sectors are there, vacancies for which you can help get people jobs in Germany?
Mhm. So for now, those professions you can see highlighted here. So currently that is hospitality, gastronomy, including culinary chefs, as well as in nursing, caregiving, medical stuff. So basically it's hospitality as well as the healthcare sector, those both sectors, and other industries, for example, IT, they will follow very soon.
Okay, sure. And so, will their jobs and interviews be organized before they fly from Germany, or after they arrive in Germany, they will be getting the job offers?
Mhm. Um, this also is a very crucial question. So in most of the cases, it will be like you can see here that it's a sequence of service. Step number 3, we connect you with prospective employers. So at this point of stage, you are still in India, and we all at that time we will already connect you with the employers, and mostly here you will have your online interviews with your prospective employers, and also submitting your documents like CV and motivation letter and so on. So the I would say the most part of the recruitment process will be done before you are leaving India. However, we also have cases where um, you travel to Germany first, and then you will have the interviews with your employers face to face. That means in person. So we can say we have both online in India or offline face to face in Germany.
Okay. So thank you for that question. And so before appearing for interviews, is German language compulsory, or they can get interviews without German knowledge?
Mhm. The German course before the before the job interview, it's not mandatory. So technically speaking, you could attend this job interview without any German course. However, we would suggest that you have a basic understanding, a very simple understanding of the German language, just as to demonstrate your interest in working with the company. Employers, they like to see if you have a certain command of the language, but it's not mandatory.
Okay. So is German language compulsory for the visa, or can they start German language after arriving in Germany?
So that is mandatory. That means before, you can see that on that slide again. That is why you have to do the first part of the language course first before you can submit your visa application.
Okay. And what are the visa requirements? Is there any blocked account required? What are the visa process?
Mhm. Okay. So check this criteria. So so there's no blocked account needed. No blocked account needed for if you go there to work. Um, what is needed is like a proper documentation of those criteria. That means you are below the age of 35. That is, according to your passport. You will have to submit your university or vocational school certificates from India. Um, you will have to show work certificates to demonstrate your 3 years work experience, and you also will have to show a certain level of language skills, and that can be done basically by showing the certificate, and even that you will have a certain conversation in German with the visa officer in the embassy.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. And so, for in Germany, for getting a job, how many rounds of interviews do company usually have, and how long is the interview process usually?
Mhm. So this really depends on the company, the industry, and also about the applicant, how much experience he or she is. Um, the interview itself will be, I mean, if we're talking about the interview, we're talking about, let's say, 45 to 60 minutes. But in terms of the quantity, how many interviews we do need to have is we have seen everything in between 2 interviews up to 20 interviews before a job can be secured. But it also heavily depends on the documents. Basically speaking, you can say the better your documents, CVU, motivation letter, and so on, the better those documents are prepared, the quicker and the easier your job interview will be. And of course, we will also help you with those documents. Um, so it will take some time for the entire process, but it's absolutely manageable.
Okay. So many candidates they prefer, and they are also considering like US, Canada, UK, Australia for jobs and the PR. So what would you advise them? Why should they prefer Germany?
Mhm. Yes. So I believe those are great countries too. Just there are 2 points I would like to mention is second, please. Here in Germany, you will have the opportunity to get a passport after only 3 to 5 years. I'm not sure about the other countries, but I guess it will be much longer in those countries and other countries. So here in a very short period of time, you can obtain a passport or a residence permit. Number two is that the relevant laws and labor laws actually they protect international workforce even better than the local workforce, and that is opposite, I would say, to other countries, because now in Germany we have a severe lack of labor force, and for that reason we do protect international employees seeking employment in Germany. So here you will enjoy the same rights and same benefits as our local workforce.
Sure. And on the spouse visa, are they also allowed to work in Germany?
Yes. So once your spouse has come, he or she will be also be allowed to work. And another good point here is if you bring your children will be entitled for free of charge education too. That means your spouse can work, and your children will enjoy free of charge um, education, starting from the kindergarten, going up until university.
Okay. And the online German course, what are the timings and class duration for the online German course?
Mm-hmm. This slide here. So here we have the first part. So the German course, regarding the German course, altogether we have 480 lessons. And you see here the first part is 240 lessons online plus another 240 face-to-face. Each part is going for 12 weeks. And regarding the timings, one lesson will last for 45 minutes, and it will be because that will be live streamed from Germany, and considering the time difference between those countries, so those online courses will be in the early afternoon or evening time in India. And once you have arrived in Germany, that will be during the morning hours local time. In Germany, altogether 480 lessons, 45 minutes each.
Okay. So in a week, how many hours they will be learning German language, and how many days in a week, or for the online
Mhm.
training?
So this will be every day, Monday to Friday, and within 1 week you will have 20 lessons.
Okay. And each lesson is 45 minutes.
Exactly right.
Okay. So thank you so much for today's webinar, and I'm sure your information would have been quite useful for all the candidates who have attended and joined this webinar. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your attention, and welcome to Germany.